Good evening, I'm Haley Wilgus. Scott Dennis has the day off. Thanks for joining us tonight. Our top story, home builders in Manatee County may be paying more impact fees starting next April. Next Tuesday, the Manatee County School Board will vote on whether to increase impact fees from 75% to 100% of the recommended fee. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo has more. Dwayne.
Well, Haley, with the board recognizing a growing school district, they're looking for local developers to absorb more of the cost.
In 2015, the Manatee County School Board voted to increase fees on a graduated scale over 3 years, easing higher sales tax for developers. Now, they feel it was a mistake.
What we're realizing now is that's not even enough to handle the growth we're experiencing.
School board member Charlie Kennedy says bringing those fees to 100% next year, as opposed to 75, could bring in an extra $2 million the district really needs.
With the growth the county has seen, school enrollment wise over the past 3 years, we're just off the charts compared to the counties around us.
By law, any impact fee collected on a home must be spent on the infrastructure and school within the community. For
some taxpayers, this is home builders should pay their fair share. Property tax, tourists, that was kind of the gist of the sales tax referendum, is everybody pays into it to improve the schools of the community.
But CEO of the Manatee Sarasota Building Industry Association, John Mast, says the increase will drive the costs of homes up and feels the impact fees needs to be gradually increased. Former teacher Linda Boone says not so fast. These increased fees come full circle to help the community.
It's very important that we go ahead and take it right to 100% and get these impact fees in to help pay for all the development that's going on.
When the school board suspended impact fees back in 2009, schools reported a $4 million revenue loss within the first year. Kennedy says the jump from 50 to 100% is fair.
We're not talking about a very large increase, and essentially it's going to take some time to go through for our resolution to go through its process.
Now, if approved, it would move on to the Manatee County Planning Commission for recommendation, then the commission for a final vote. Haley, back to you.
Thank you, Dwayne. Some good news for business owners in Florida. The re-employment tax rate will not go up next year. Most businesses will only pay $7 per employee in re-employment taxes in 2017. That is significantly down from the $120 per worker rate just 5 years ago. The taxes fund the state's Re-employment Assistance Trust Fund. It was pretty much depleted during the recession. Now, with more than $3 billion back in the fund, the tax rate can be lower thanks to a stronger economy.
People are finding jobs when they're looking for work. If they lose their job through no fault of their own, they're getting back to work quicker. And so we have a strong economy, and because of that, we're able to pass along the savings.
Businesses with more layoffs and employee turnover will pay more in re-employment tax than companies with a steadier workforce. But more than half of all Florida businesses should qualify for this lower rate. A Bradenton police officer has been fired for writing homophobic and racially insensitive posts on his personal Facebook page. Police Chief Melanie Bevan opened an internal investigation into Officer Mark Roberts in June. The nearly 6-month investigation examined 11 Facebook posts and comments from the last 3 years. Chief Bevan says the posts violate the department's code of conduct policy, and she hopes it will send a message to other officers. Members of the local NAACP say that these posts should not be taken lightly.
When you see this type of behavior, it doesn't just cut off. It's not like an on and off switch. You know, how does that relate to that particular officer's behavior on the street?
Officer Roberts was with the Bradenton Police Department for 9 years. He was officially terminated on December 1st. The Sarasota Police Department continues to grow. 3 new police officers were sworn in today. Officer Kevin Cavallero is joining the department from Massachusetts, where he worked for the Department of Homeland Security. Officer Corey Hart is a USF grad and served as a sergeant in the Florida Army National Guard. And finally, Officer Ramon Iglesias is a New Jersey native and former corrections officer for the Florida Department of Corrections. 3 other officers were promoted to sergeant. Congratulations to them. And 2 new leadership roles on the board of Sarasota County Commissioners have been decided. The board selected Paul Caragiulo to serve as chairman in 2017. Caragiulo represents District 2 and has served on the commission since 2014. Before that, he served on the Sarasota City Commission. The board voted Nancy Dieter to serve as vice chair. The positions are effective on January 1st. And now for a check on our forecast with that chill in the air, let's head over to Bob.
Yeah, there was a bit of a chill in the air today and a wind out of the north and northeast, making it feel even a little cooler out there. Temperatures into the low 60s right now and expected to fall. Now, there have been some clouds that have moved back in a little bit, and that's just a temporary thing, I think, going on. We'll still see low temperatures in the upper 40s in some places well inland. Right now, all pretty much right around 60 degrees everywhere you look here. And again, looks like lows tonight will be some of the coolest readings we've had, but nothing extreme at this point. The Gulf temperature already down to 70 and expected to go even further than that. Dew point temperatures are extremely low right now across much of the peninsula and especially the Panhandle now. 15-degree temperature, dew point temperature in Tallahassee. So some very dry and much cooler air has moved in over the Panhandle. You see these upper level clouds to mid-level clouds streaming overhead associated with this subtropical jet stream right now. So we'll keep an eye on those. I got a feeling they're going to thin out for us on Saturday, and we should rebound quite nicely for Saturday afternoon. But right now, a few light rain showers down south of Charlotte County and to the east of Fort Myers, pushing off to the east. So no real threat of any significant rainfall through this evening. It'll stay dry here, although it will be rather chilly. So grab your jackets and sweaters if you're going outdoors for dinner tonight. Small craft advisory remains in effect, too. Well, more on the weekend weather coming up in just a few minutes. Haley, thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Good news on the Zika front. As of today, Florida no longer has any areas with active Zika transmission. Governor Rick Scott giving the all clear in South Beach today, the last of the 3 neighboring Miami areas to be taken off of the list of active zones. The virus is especially scary for pregnant mothers because it can cause severe brain-related birth defects. Health officials last reported that more than 200 people in Florida have contracted Zika.
What that means is our state has no transmission, local transmission of Zika. So we're going to continue to welcome all the tourists to come down here, all the people that want to come enjoy our beaches, our weather, our restaurants, our amusements. We're going to make sure everybody knows that this state is open for business. And as we do that, we're going to get more jobs.
The first cases of Zika transmission through mosquito bites in the U.S. first reported in Miami in July. While Florida is making progress in the Zika fight, 4 more cases of Zika have been believed to have been transmitted in Texas. The first case, announced in late November, was a woman who lives in Brownsville. That's a town near the border with Mexico. Health officials say the new cases were identified in tests conducted after her infection was uncovered. They say those cases were also likely acquired in Brownsville as well. And still to come on your Suncoast News, an update on former U.S. astronaut Buzz Aldrin's health following his evacuation from the South Pole. And ABC 7 Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, coming up in Health Smart, what you can do to boost your overall health and reduce stress when we return.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner. After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
The official salon of ABC 7. Cutting Loose Salon.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
You've seen me roll for 100 G's, but I got a little more than dough riding on this one. They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. And so the best that I can do is pray. Luck be a lady tonight.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.
Former U.S. astronaut Buzz Aldrin is heading home. Aldrin was discharged from a New Zealand hospital today, a week after he was evacuated from the South Pole for medical reasons. The 86-year-old adventurer was evacuated after getting short of breath and showing signs of altitude sickness. Aldrin said earlier this week that he is eager to get back home to Satellite Beach, Florida, to spend Christmas with his family. Before he left the hospital, Aldrin posted a tribute to former astronaut and Senator John Glenn, who died yesterday at the age of 95. And when John Glenn became the first American to orbit the Earth in 1962, the whole world watched this historic moment on television. One of the people that viewers turned to was NBC correspondent Don Blair. Well, today, Blair lives here on the Suncoast and has very fond memories of John Glenn. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley has that story.
When Don Blair started his career in broadcasting, it was 1955, television's infancy.
I went out on my first aircraft carrier for Gemini 9.
During his career, Blair worked for all three major networks and the Mutual Network. It was there he first met John Glenn.
Kindly gentleman, the ultimate professional. I mean, he treated us like we were one of them.
Over the years, Blair became one of them, gaining unprecedented access to Glenn and the other astronauts, gaining their trust. Here, an exclusive photo of Neil Armstrong playing his ukulele.
What am I doing out here with these guys? I'm standing next to a man that has walked on moon dust and probably still has it on his boots.
Blair covered all of the Apollo missions, reporting for all three major networks live from the deck of the USS Hornet, the aircraft carrier sent to recover the pods.
On more than one occasion, I was the first one the world heard say, there it is, here it comes, you know, splashdown. Maybe I was the one that coined the term, I don't know.
Blair took this photo of the recovery of Apollo 11, but he says he was so focused at the time, much of the memories have been lost. What's it like sitting on the ship, watching this with your own eyes, watching this splashdown and seeing the recovery? What's that like for you?
I guess at the time, I was too involved in what I had to do.
Still, as he says goodbye to his friend John Glenn, Blair can't help but think he's one of the last few people who lived to see these amazing moments of history right alongside our American heroes.
Who other of my colleagues are still around that shared the privilege of reporting on them and associating with them?
Ever the storyteller, a few years ago, Blair literally wrote the book about his time covering NASA and the Apollo missions, titled Splashdown, NASA, the Navy, and Spaceflight Recovery. In Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Christopher. A Japanese capsule loaded with urgent supplies is on the way to the International Space Station. It launched earlier today. The capsule, named Stork, contains 5 tons of water and food and other supplies, including new lithium-ion batteries for the solar power system of the station. Astronauts will conduct spacewalks next month to replace the old batteries that store energy generated by those big solar panels. The spacecraft should arrive at the station on Tuesday.
Good news there.
Pretty cool.
Some supplies. I think the other one prior to that had some issues. So,
Yeah.
they're replacing that. Speaking of batteries, I got mine replaced on my clicker. Last
There
time
was
we had
an
some
issue
issue.
last
Yeah,
night.
well,
Right.
you didn't see it, but everything's working fine now. We are looking at some clouds around earlier today with some breaks occasionally. And this is the Lakewood Ranch webcam from 2 o'clock this afternoon. You saw the sun come out for a little bit, and then once in a while some high clouds thickening up a bit. No real threat of any significant rainfall this evening. A brief sprinkle here or there, not out of the question, but for the most part that rain will stay well down to our south. That's where it is right now. And you can see it's not all that heavy, that frontal boundary, and a real storm system is now slowly getting out of here. And we'll see a pretty chilly night ahead, though. We're expecting low temperatures, I mentioned earlier, upper 40s in some inland locations, low 50s right near the coast. If you're evening planner, if you're going outdoors, look at this. By 11 o'clock, it'll be down to 55, but the wind out of the northeast will make it feel a little bit colder than that, into the mid to upper 40s for the most part. Currently at the Sarasota-Braden Airport at 61. We do have those high clouds around. Dew point is at 43. That's low. Winds out of the northeast at 8, and the pressure 30-25, which is high, and that continues to rise. The temperatures right now 52 in Jacksonville, it's 60 in Orlando, 73 now in Miami, and pretty mild in Key West at 75 degrees. We're much cooler here, though. 62 degrees in Braden, Mayaca City at 60, Wauchula 59 degrees. The Gulf of Mexico water temperature now at 70, and Inglewood now at 60 degrees. The forecast for tomorrow will start off rather cool. Temperatures will be down into the upper 40s to low 50s, then warm up into the mid to upper 60s by noon. And then throughout the early afternoon, temperatures will get to 73 degrees. That's a little bit below average, but not much. So low 70s expected highs tomorrow with a little bit of sunshine mixed with some of these high clouds. And you can see those streaming in our direction associated with this very fast moving air in the upper levels of the atmosphere at about 30,000 feet. And that is bringing us that moderate cloudiness now. In terms of the southeast, though, a large area of high pressure is dominating the weather. And it looks like now that we are going to see a pretty nice work week ahead with temperatures staying into the upper 70s right throughout much of it. A close-up look revealing some of those clouds continue to move on again in our area every once in a while, pushing off to the east. The futurecast for Saturday morning still showing some high-level clouds around, and then it thins out. We'll start to see partly cloudy skies throughout much of the day tomorrow, and the winds will switch around more to an east and northeasterly direction. That always has a tendency to warm us up. We'll be back in the 70s. And then notice what happens. The clouds start to move from the southeast to the northwest by Sunday. We'll be back into the upper 70s by Sunday afternoon. So a quick turnaround with this cooler weather around now. We're back into the upper 70s, above average as early as Sunday afternoon. And it looks like that'll stick around. Below average temperatures from Montana through North Dakota and into Minneapolis right now. 16 degrees there, 23 in Chicago. It's 32 in Boston, 38 in Dallas, and 27 now in Kansas City, St. Louis at 30 degrees. Well, for boaters tomorrow, the small craft advisory stays with us. Now, the winds and seas will let up somewhat on Sunday, but still the seas will be running 2 to 4 feet on Sunday, but 3 to 5 footers tomorrow. Northeast winds at 20 knots. We'll start off very breezy. The winds will subside, though, by midday, down to around 10 knots later in the afternoon. So choppy conditions out there. Keep that in mind if you plan on boating tomorrow. The water temperature getting ready to go into the 60s, and beaches will see a high right around 71 degrees. UV index will be an 8 for us tomorrow for beachgoers. As far as the tides go, upcoming tides, well, we have a high tide at 8:20, a low at 4:10, another high tide at 9:57. Sunset will be at 5:37. Sunrise will be at 7:10. And the forecast tonight, chilly, that's right, mostly fair otherwise. Upper 40s, inland areas right around 50 degrees near downtown Sarasota. Northeast winds at 10 to 15. For tomorrow, a cool start, but a nice finish. Low temperatures slightly below average in the low 70s. It will be a little bit warmer than it was today. North winds, though, at 10 to 15. The extended forecast looks good. Highs in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees all the way through Friday of next week. And temperatures above average for lows as well. Haley?
Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. I-75 is backed up northbound from Clark Road north to University Parkway due to a stalled vehicle on the roadway earlier this afternoon. In health news tonight, Americans are dying from heart disease at a faster rate, stalling 4 decades of gains against the nation's leading killer and driving up the mortality rate overall. The death rate from heart disease rose 0.9% last year. That's according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. The death rate also rose 3% for stroke, the 5th leading cause of death in the U.S. Researchers tie both of these increases to obesity and diabetes. This pushed the life expectancy down by 1/10 of a percentage point to 78.8 years. Exercise could help protect your body from the effects of stress. In a report published in the journal Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise, researchers looked at 200 Swedish workers and assessed their stress levels. They found people who were more stressed had higher levels of risk factors for heart disease. But the people who were more fit, even if they felt stressed, were less likely to have these risk factors. The study authors say exercise may act as a buffer against some of the health risk factors that are known to be caused by too much stress. A study by Vanderbilt University shows skin-to-skin contact with moms and babies after birth is quite beneficial. Women who had this contact with their naked babies right after delivery were more likely to breastfeed longer than women who didn't have babies placed on their skin right away. They were about 24% more likely to still be breastfeeding 1 to 4 months later. And they were also 32% more likely to successfully breastfeed on their first try. Babies also had higher scores for heart and lung function, higher blood sugar levels, and had a similar body temperature to their swaddled counterparts. Study authors say this skin-to-skin contact should last at least an hour. Coming up, fire rips through a Virginia marina, leaving a trail of damaged boats. Plus, how one UPS worker saved a Missouri woman's life after she was held captive inside her own home.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Sarasota, we're uncorking something special at Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room. Shop in a relaxed atmosphere with our wine specialists. You'll find 1,000 international wines, 200 under $20. National brand and boutique liquors at competitive pricing. Handcrafted beers. Stop by Michael's Wine Cellar and Tasting Room today and let us show you something exceptional.
Flooring Depot has been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties for over 20 years with the best products and installation. Flooring Depot offers carpet, tile, hardwood, and more. Before you buy, give us a try. Stop by our showroom or visit us on the web at bestvaluecarpet.com.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called three-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Dotoli Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Fire destroys more than a dozen boats at a marina near Richmond, Virginia. The fire started early this morning at the Richmond Yacht Basin in eastern Henrico. About 15 boats were damaged. Some stayed moored, others floated downstream. Fire officials say all of the people on the boats were able to get to safety and everyone is accounted for. Several sheds were also damaged or destroyed. Investigators say it's too soon to determine whether the fire was arson or an accident. Some new information on that deadly hot air balloon crash that killed 16 people in Texas this summer. The NTSB released documents today that state the pilot suffered from medical and psychiatric conditions. The agency also reports the pilot had multiple drugs in his system at the time of the accident, including the opiate painkiller oxycodone, and he had a history of arrests and convictions. The hot air balloon crashed on July 30th in Caldwell County after it struck power lines before catching on fire and killing all 16 passengers. A UPS driver may have saved a Missouri woman's life. Police say the woman was being held captive in her home and her husband had beat her for hours. James Jordan is charged with physically and sexually abusing his wife while their 3-year-old child was locked in his room for 15 hours with no food or water. The woman was trapped with no way to call for help until a UPS driver came to the door to pick up a package. She wrote "Contact 911" on the box and help arrived soon after.
To see someone or hear of someone caged up or locked up is terrible.
Jordan is charged with domestic assault, sodomy, felonious restraint, unlawful use of a weapon, and endangering the welfare of a child. You've heard of a seeing eye dog, but what about a seeing eye camel? Well, meet Caesar. He's a friendly 5-year-old camel, and he's helping a blind horse named Dolly. The two live at the Pony Express Petting Zoo in Winslow, Maine. Zoo officials say Caesar needed the company of another animal, and Dolly needed a guide. So the two were put together, and they have since bonded. Quite adorable. Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, President-elect Donald Trump continues his thank you tour while looking into future council prospects. Meanwhile, President Obama reviews hacks related to the 2016 election.
Don't miss the 19th annual Thunder by the Bay Motorcycle Festival, January 5th through the 8th, to benefit Suncoast Charities for Children. This year's festival welcomes special guest Blue Oyster Cult to the premier sports campus at Lakewood Ranch on January 8th at 4 p.m. Admission is free. Festival events include a sporting clay tournament, kickoff party, welcome Thunder event, Cruise for Cash charity motorcycle ride, and a 2-day Rockin' and Ridin' at the Ranch festival featuring vendors, live music, a Taste of Thunder area, and more. VIP tickets are available. For tickets and info, visit thunderbybthebay.org.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.